Hello, everyone. My name is Marco. Um, Hi, everyone. Are we on? Yeah. So my name is Marco, and I will be shifting my where I look from one side to the other because I'm talking at the same time to Facebook and to Instagram. Okay. So welcome, everyone. Uh, I will be talking about how emotions somehow influentiate our body weight. Um, this comes out of course, the experience I've had within myself, within my life, and it comes also this issue, this topic, from the years that I've been working with people that struggle with overweight. Okay, so meanwhile, if you don't mind, I'll be having also a warm tea, a warm cup of tea, because cold and fall is already uh, offering us a little bit of a cold and cold weather, so it invites us to have a nice cup of tea. I just want to show you my cup. Well, I'm Gail. This is the right attitude, okay? Peaceful. That's the cow attitude. Okay, so let's move on. The emotions of overweight. I write down everything I want to tell you, so I won't forget anything. And the first thing that is, for me, the most important thing to tell you about is, who do I want to, let's say, trigger with this talk? This talk is directed for those of you who feel some kind of um, uneasiness, some kind of I'm sorry with the English. Sometimes it the words fade because it's not a language that I'm not always talking every day. But it is for those of you that feel uneasy, that have some kind of the contrary to well-being, emotional well-being, that is related with weight and body image as well. Okay, because normally in my working experience, both go together. They are associated. They are. This talk is also for those of you that have some kind of a problem or a challenge with your weight, either being overweight or obesity. And of course, that causes to some of you a little bit of anxiety regarding your health. Okay, and it is also for those of you who wish to understand how emotions can have an influence on your weight, your body weight. Uh, it is indeed for those of you who wish to assume the responsibility of your own actions. What is this? This is understanding at a very deeply that I have overweight, I have obesity. Therefore, I will assume the responsibility to somehow deal with it, to overcome this issue, this challenge, to work on me. I assume the responsibility for it. It is not a talk for those of you that are looking for a magic pill. Overweight and obesity I've been working in this years and years now. There is not an easy solution, okay? There is not a magic pill or a magic diet or a magic exercise. It may even work for some time, but if there isn't somehow a life habit change, if you don't change your habits, overweight and obesity is not going to just fade away by miracle. There is a mental, emotional state that will drive you to establish new living habits in your life. And this is one of the most important messages that I want to pass to everyone. Okay? No miracles, no magic pills. Also, this talk is for those of you that, as I said before, assume the responsibility. I want to do this for myself. It is important for me. This is what I'm going to do. Okay? Good. So, I will talk about the possible conflicts that might be behind overweight. Also, you will learn somehow how your childhood or even the subconscious information that is in your family tree, in your ancestors, that you carry out in your genes. And this comes from a field of study called epigenetics. This is how the environment really messes up with your genetic expression. And you will behave and you will express yourself in the world commanded by that subconscious or unconscious information. It's not the same having grandparents that survived war and probably survived the hunger of being in war, the scarcity of food, than having grandparents that, on the opposite, have the best foods, didn't feel scarcity at all, and had I don't know, a pretty balanced diet. It is different. It is different, and the way you might be somehow building or relating to food might be somehow related with this fact. Okay, so at the end, one of my goals by organizing this talk is that you connect with what you really need to let go, to forgive, to gain awareness, and at the end achieve peace. Might be also joy or freedom. Okay. The neighbor's dog is liking what I say. Okay. And one of the things that we will do is also, I want you to connect with the primary emotion, the deep emotion that underlies behind your overweight or your obesity. So you understand that everything that is happening to you related with that condition has a primary emotion behind. And you will see, we were going to do a practical exercise. You will see where in your childhood that began. What is the seed moment of this issue? This emotion behind overweight and obesity. Okay. So, my questions for you. First, I invite you to, if you want, to put your comments, and this doesn't transform only in me talking. Also, you sharing some of the things that you're feeling, that you're going through in the comment area. Okay. My question for you, you can answer this mentally, is: do you weigh yourself every day? Or is your well-being affected by that little number that you see on your scale? Do you compare yourself with other people regarding weight, body weight, or body image? Is it difficult for you to lose weight and you've been trying everything? Diets, new foods, new exercises, and you keep returning to the same weight? Does that somehow depress you, makes you feel depressed? It changes your mood, let's say. Would you like to let go of guilt and shame that often is associated with, is linked with this body image and body weight? So if you like to know also all the conflicts that might be behind this overweight thing, you're in the right place, okay? You will see, I told you before, you will see with clarity that emotion that is underlying behind the overweight and obesity challenge. What I want you to feel at the end of this talk is that there is another way of approaching to this challenge. And by gaining that awareness, you will change your perception. And if you change your perception on things, definitely you're not the same person. You'll start acting differently. Okay? So, excuse me. The overweight, how this came to be of interest for me to study and to work on it. When I was a child and entering into teenager, I always was chubby. I wasn't obese, but definitely I was overweight. Mostly due to food. I just enjoyed food and I would eat, and eat. And also I was not doing exercise. So I remember even then my classmates at school, call me chubby or fat, those kind of things that children say to each other. And feeling that, oof, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel accepted. I would feel shame. I would feel guilt. I would feel sad, etc., etc., etc. Whatever, low self-esteem, low self-love, low probably lack of self-confidence, all those things that are associated when you're a kid and they're just pointing the finger to you. When I was 17, 18 years old, I enrolled to college to be to sports science, physical education and sports science. So I start preparing. I got in and I start preparing to, to the load of exercise that I knew that I was going to be having, the classes that I was going to have. And I start training water polo at, a very good water polo team where I lived. So I start almost from nothing to exercise 2 hours a day at a very high and intense level. The first thing that the coach told me when I went to practice the first day, he put up my t-shirt and he said, you have a lot to burn there. Good. I said, okay. I said, let's do this. Let's do this. I was really, this is what I'm going to do. And in 1 month, this is the pure truth, I lost 11 kilos. 11. In pounds, that would be, I don't know, 20, 22, 23, I don't know, 20 something pounds. Due to the intensity, the aggressivity of the exercise. And a few months later, I gained, I'll not say a few months, I would say, after that, entering the university, I'd say minimum, I don't know, 8-9 months later, I gained around 9 kilos, but that was not body fat, that was, lean tissue. That said is, muscle mass. So my body changed completely. And with that came the confidence. Or is it the other way around? Was it first confidence and then my body changed? I don't know. It's like the chicken and the egg. Who came first? I think they went in parallel. One helps the other. We can't in any way separate, in my opinion, of course, body from mind and mind from emotions. They are all interconnected. And this is what I want to tell you. There was a change of mind, there was a decision, and then it followed action. And the action gave me results. And then it potentiated also the emotions that I was having within myself, with myself. And this is my story. And since then, well, I kept more or less my weight. Now I'm lighter because I'm not exercising the way I was doing. So in centimeters, I'm 184 height, and my weight will be at the moment 78, 79 kilos, more or less. So it's within the normal body mass index, let's say. I also want to tell you a little bit about John Gabriel. John Gabriel wrote a book called The Gabriel Method. I recommend this book to the ones of you that have or feel that have an overweight challenge. It's a great book. And just to resume it, to summarize it, is John Gabriel was a very, very big man. He was morbid obese, 200 and something, I don't know, sorry, pounds, 400 pounds, kilos, 180 kilos. And he studied everything, since nutrition, biochemistry, whatever thing he could lay hands on around obesity and overweight. In the book, he says that I study everything. Nothing worked for me. I would lose a little bit, and then I would gain more even than I had before regarding weight. So he discovered that his problem or his challenge with weight is he felt that having that weight gave him security. He would feel safe inside those huge limits he had around. And he discovered this because at work he had a boss that was normally bullying him. Okay? Someone is saying now is winter is difficult to keep fit. Well, it depends where you are. I lived in Austria for a year, and I lived winter in Austria. And sometimes this is true. Under the snow, people would, all older people would walk with the walking sticks, the Nordic walking, something that they do under the snow. Boom, 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 boom. So, this talk here is about solutions, not excuses for you not to do things. Okay? There is always a way. Hola, Leticia. There is always a way. If you really want, if you have the driving force to do whatever you feel that you have to do, you're going to do it. You're gonna do it. You're going to do it. There's nothing that will stop you. You just have to find this. And this is why I tell, understanding the emotions and the conflicts behind the emotions is very, the conflicts behind the the overweight is very important. Okay? Te ríes. So, John Gabriel. So, the conflict is having an attack, an outside aggression, his boss. And he said that he felt that the conflict was if he maintained his weight, that size, that huge size that he has, there wasn't any kind of, physical threat against him. So it was security. And probably the emotion behind that was fear. And he gives an example that is fantastic about his cat. So he had a cat while, I don't know if the cat is still alive, but when he wrote the book, he had a cat. The cat was like Garfield, was a fatty cat. And the cat normally would go to the neighbor's terrace, where there was like a closed glass door, and behind that door there was a dog, and the dog would try always to attack that cat. But of course the cat was safe, and the cat would lie down in front of the dog, in front of the glass doors, and everything was secure, no threat for the cat. But it seems that for once the neighbor let that glass door open. So you can imagine, of course, the dog went for the cat, and the cat just ran and disappeared. And John Gabriel said that the cat was, lost for 3 days. He thought, well, the cat is dead. He will never return. But after those 3 days, the cat just came home. And after that event, he was limping a little bit, but he was alive, he was okay. But after that event, even though he was healthy, the cat kept losing and losing and losing weight. He got skinny. John writes that he gave all the best foods to them. He went to the vet. The vet said, there's nothing wrong with the cat. He's just skinny. And he understood, and then I will explain you why. He understood that unconsciously, that is a self-defense mechanism. What happened is, if the cat kept, all the weight, he will not be able to run away from that cat, from that dog. So he needed to lose the weight in order to run faster. That's a surviving mechanism, the how do you call it, flight or fly response. So that was the response of the cat. If I want to survive, I have to run, run for my life. So this, and he will do it easier by losing that weight, by being skinnier. Okay, so in my field of work, we work with two main. There are more. This will be developed in a workshop I will do in 2 weeks. There are more. But for the talk that we are going to do today, there are two main conflicts that are associated with, maintaining overweight, or maintaining the weight, or retaining that weight. One is called, if I translated literally to English, abandonment conflict. Okay? And what is this abandonment conflict? So the abandonment conflict, it's a biological conflict, meaning that is related with our biology, with our nature, with our condition of being an animal, if you want to if you want to express it that way. Just a moment. Okay, I just forgot. I hope that you in Instagram are listening to me well, because I forgot to plug in the microphone. Well, it's okay. So the abandonment conflict is related again with our biology, with our animal condition, let's say. So in nature, when there's a herd, and this is an example, and one element of the herd, of that pack, is abandoned, let's say, a pup or a calf is abandoned, there are two ways that that calf or that pup is going to be able to survive. One is probably running, like the cat, like John's cat. And for this, he has to lose weight, he has to be skinny, fit, he has to run away, he has to be light. Or other way he can survive is to eat, to be large, big, strong, and he has to eat. Okay? This is what makes that animal strong. In adulthood, we can also see that. Normally, the animals, when they confront themselves, who wins? Normally, the strongest one. This is why the bear will stand up and open his arms. Some lizards do the same. They will want to show bigger than they really are. So that's a survival also instinct. And this happens, of course, when we bring this to humans, we don't have to fight, probably, for food or for whatever. We also, fat will be related with temperature. We have, heating in our houses. Fat will be related with famine, with hunger. And most of us have food in our houses. So it's not that triggers our survival instinct. It will be something else. It will be if emotionally, if there are emotions that trigger that fear of survival. It will be emotions that somehow will unbalance us. It will be situations and events that we will connect with oops, my life is in danger. This is unconsciously, okay? It's not consciously. Because if you are working and you have a boss that is bullying you, consciously, you know that that person is not putting your life in danger, at least directly. But unconsciously, you feel that's aggression. That person wants me harm. Or if I lose my job, won't have the possibility to have the comfort or the food or whatever that I have. Or if you're in a relationship, this is something that in my practice, when I do one-on-one sessions, unfortunately, I find a lot in couple relationships. And because I have more women than men, although I have some men as well, is always that aggression from the couple. So that would be also something that I would, dig in and explore. Normally, conflicts with weight behind, there's always a conflict within relationships. Either be normally relationships with someone very close to you that somehow influentiates your life, or even the relationship that you have with yourself. When you look to the mirror, when you're standing on that scale, the emotions that produce within you, that emotion might trigger more holding into that overweight. So it's like one situation conflicting the same, and feedback and how do you say? Yeah, feeding back and cycling one within the other. But the main thing is to understand what's the main conflict. So again, conflict of abandonment, remember, is when you feel separated, and when you feel separated, you connect with fear. You can either face that fear with running away. You would be skinny. That's a way of fighting it. Or if normally a person that has the different polarity, you want to fight, go against it, you would grow bigger. That's a way of say, hey, I'm here, I'm big, I'm strong, you're not going to harm me. There is a secondary conflict that could be also connected with being bigger, is, hey, look at me, I'm here. And of course, the feelings behind that would be of, low self-esteem, not giving yourself self-value, and needing that validation from recognition from the outside. So I'll grow bigger, I will talk loud, I will make everyone laugh just for them to understand and to see me. So that's a secondary conflict that could be related with overweight. And also, a secondary again is, if I'm big, I have enough surface, to feel the warmth, the touch of someone else. Of course, again, remember, this is always subconsciously, unconsciously speaking. Other conflict that will be related with, gaining overweight, but in this case, retaining water, retaining liquids, is what we called the refugee conflict. What is this? Normally, refugee fears for his life or her life, for their lives. And there is that constant fear undermining everything that person is undergoing. That continuous fear will make that people retain water. Why? Because water is what will somehow, how do you say, allow you to live. So you need to retain that water just in case tomorrow you don't have water to drink. You don't know what's going to happen before. So when we work with people and they start gaining consciousness about all these conflicts, and they start first gain awareness, change perception, change the way they think and they feel, the first thing that they do is, while of course exercising and dieting, and not dieting but having good and healthy eating habits, is they first lose a lot of weight. They normally say, woof, I spend a whole day at the bathroom peeing. Why? Because there isn't, this conflict is not affecting them anymore. So they can release that excessive retained water. So these are the main conflicts that are related with overweight. There is another one that is very important, especially for those of you that have, yo-yo dieting. You do a diet, you lose weight, and then you gain that weight really fast and back again. It is a conflict that, imagine, the body unconsciously makes you store all that fat because biologically you need that to survive. You are safer unconsciously, you are safer holding into that excess of fat. So when you do a diet, you're producing a secondary conflict, that is, I want to, consciously, mind says I want to lose weight, but unconsciously the powerful, so much powerful subconscious mind says, no, you won't do it because it's safer if you have that excessive fat. And consciously you want to lose it. So when you lose it and you still have that conflict, what the body is going to do is everything that you eat is going to store. And it's going to store in fat. This is why people, after doing a diet, gain it all very fast, and sometimes gain even more the weight. So doing a diet or doing exercise to lose weight without understanding the conflict, that emotional conflict that is behind that, it won't work. From my point of view, from my experience, you need to address those emotional conflicts in order to balance and to achieve your ideal weight. This is why it is important to put this new information in everything you're doing to lose that weight. So what I want you to do now, I want to invite you to do an exercise with me. It's like a visualization exercise. Are you okay? Do you agree? Do you want to go forward? Let's do this exercise. This exercise is for you to understand what emotion is underlying beneath the conflict you have with overweight. So, what you're going to do first is identify an event where that is connected with overweight, and let's do that, Tracy. That is connected with overweight or obesity. An event that, for instance, you are looking at the scale at home and you say, oh my God, look at this, I gained more kilos. And you feel there is somehow a physical reaction, some kind of suffering, some kind of pain. Or a friend just tell you, I don't know, did you put some more weight? And you say, oof, again. Or you're trying to put those trousers that last year would be okay, and now you're trying to, put them on and they won't go, they just don't. You can't put the button inside there. Anything that is related with a conflict with your weight or body image, I want you to go there mentally. It could be something that happened today in the morning or something that happened 10 years ago. I just want you to go there mentally to that moment. You can close your eyes now. Go to that moment. Where are you? Are you alone? Are you with someone else? Are you talking? Are you listening? Are you seeing? What are you doing? What are the images? What are the colors? What are the shapes of this moment? What are the sounds of this moment? Connect with that. Go to that moment when it hurt the most. Emotionally speaking, of course. Go there. What really bothers you of what's happening? Is that you feel rejected? Is that you connected with low self-esteem? Is that you connected with feeling abandoned? Feeling double-crossed? What's the treason? Connect with that. Now I need you to go a bit deeper and connect with the thoughts of that moment. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about yourself? Thinking. Do you connect with thoughts like, I'm not good enough? I hate myself? It's my fault. I'm horrible. What are the thoughts? Now let's go, like if you're going down a stairs, going downstairs, another step down, deeper. Connect with your feelings. What are you feeling? Not good enough? Weak? Shame? Guilt? Let's go down again. Deeper now. We'll connect with an emotion. What's the emotion behind this? There are 5 primary deep emotions: fear, sadness, disgust, anger. The 5th is joy. This is not what we're looking for. Let's focus on the 4 emotions: fear, sadness, disgust, and anger. What are you feeling this moment? I'm sure that there is a physical, a body reaction. Where do you feel this emotion? Put your hand there. Put your hand where you feel this emotion. And observe behind where you're putting your hand in that physical reaction of your body, what is really, really the emotion that is behind that. Is it fear? Is it sadness? Is it disgust? Or is it anger? Once you have that emotion, a name for that emotion, what you're going to do is you're going to step into your line of time or your timeline of life, and you're going to look back to your past, and I want you to jump into your childhood, normally between 3 and 9 years old, and you're going to connect with the first moment that you felt that emotion. Be aware where in your childhood you felt that emotion for the first time, and in what situation was that? What were you doing? You were with whom? What are the words that you hear? What are the actions that you see and you feel involved? That was the first time you felt that emotion. And that emotion and that situation somehow is connected with your challenge with weight and being overweight or obesity. I would like you to write down the emotion that you connected with. Slowly, you can return to the here and now, and when you open your eyes, feel free to write that down in the comments below, okay? Now, normally in practice, we would continue also to go a little bit deeper and to understand the resource that you need to change that situation. This is not the place, we don't have the time to do that. But we will do that in the workshop I've mentioned before. So there's an online workshop organized for the 21st and 22nd of November, both days, that we're going to go deep in this issue. Okay, so is everything okay? Everyone alive back there? Anger. Okay, good, Tracy. Well done. So just this huge step of, stepping forward, allow yourself to do this exercise and to understand and be aware of, gaining consciousness is a huge, huge, huge step. Because when you gain consciousness, your perception, your perspective of things change. And when you do this, you will start acting in a different way. So congratulations. Well done for those of you that have done the exercise. Okay, this was the exercise and information I wanted to give you. And before I go, I just want to, let you know that there is a program that I've developed as a result of my work and my experience within myself and with other people. Um, that is, I've put it in a workshop, a 12-hour workshop plus 5-week, um, support, online support. And in those online 12-hour online workshop, we're going to work how to achieve ideal body weight. And I've divided in 5 pillars. For me, crucial, of course, exercise. If you want to burn those excess calories and more, benefits out of exercise you can have, even mentally, everything. Health is linked with body movement. Now, it's very important for you to understand, body movement and the things that are underlying that. Not every exercise is going to be is going to fit your needs. So you need to understand how to manage exercise and how to choose something that you love doing. For me, it's very important that if you choose exercise, you choose something that you love doing. Exercise. Second, nutrition. Very important. Healthy eating habits. No diets. Okay? For me, personally, I don't believe in diets. And think to yourself, when you hear the word diet, what do you connect it to? Is it something that you like, something that makes you happy? Or is it something that, oh my God, I can't eat that, and that. I have to do a lot of exercise. I have to make an effort. Effort is strength against. So, no diets. Very important concept, healthy eating habits. That's the second pillar. Third pillar, what we've just worked a little bit here today. Emotional management. What emotional conflicts are behind my challenge with weight? How do I deal with them? How do I let go all of that, garbage, emotional garbage that is affecting my body weight and my body image? Very important. And here the concept is achieve freedom, joy, peace. Those 3, very important. So we were going to work on self-esteem, we're going to work on, very important, forgiveness, we're going to work in, like we did today, emotions, etc., etc., etc. That's the third pillar. The fourth pillar is for you to know how to put goals, how to make an action plan, and how to develop your vision, your life purpose. Also very important, this one, because it's not the same as like, I want to lose weight. That's my goal. I want to lose weight. Or if you say to yourself, I'm in the amazing process of achieving my ideal weight of 75 kilos by the end of December 2021. Completely different. Completely different. Okay? So the way you talk to yourself, also very important, and this is something that we're going to talk about. And the fifth pillar is that you do this with someone else, with someone in the group. This is why you're going to have those 5 weeks of support online through a WhatsApp or Telegram group where everyone is going to put their doubts, their questions. I'm going to answer. I'm going to be with you. There are examples of people saying, oh my God, Marco, and now I don't know how to do this recipe. I don't know how to do this. I'm not being able to keep strong enough. And then I would answer, I would talk with that person, and then, to regain control. Remember that obesity and overweight is directly and deeply linked with loneliness. So if you do this in group, you'll be able to achieve better results. And 5 weeks, they say you need 21 days to introduce a new habit. So those 5 weeks gives us enough time to do this. So this is group 7. The group the workshop I'm doing with you, and all the groups that we have behind, they're still open, although they have almost the first one more than a year. So there are also questions. There is also a healthy discussion around this issue. Very important to walk with someone that has the same challenges with you, and to grow together so you can support each other. Okay, this is why it's very important. That's a five pillar. The results of the people that went to the workshop, of course, weight loss, losing weight loss. There are people saying that they can manage their emotions in a more how do you say, positive way. There is a gentleman that reduced type 2 diabetes medication, etc., etc. So people are getting beautiful and wonderful results out of the workshop. This is what I wanted to tell you and to, propose to you somehow. So again, the workshop is the 21st and 22nd of November. It's online. We're going to do it through Skype. The price, normally the price is over 200 euros, but because we're doing it online, and because also people now are a little bit weary because of the COVID and the staying at home and everything. This is a price I put it down so that everybody can join, and it's a feasible price. If you come with your best friend or with your couple, there's also a discount for that. And basically that's it. If there are any questions, anything you would like to say, any comments, just write it down, anything, and I will do my best to answer you as fast, as soon as I can. It was an honor, pleasure to be here with you. Any information, just send me a private message, and huge hug. Take care. I'm sending you many blessings and love. Bye bye.